It's Time Warner Cable's Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. I'm glad you're with us. Our guest, Anthony Portantino, member of the California State Assembly, and you are making noise yet again. Last year,
for all the right reasons.
Well, that's what they say. Last year, you had a court case brought because you wanted to change the way the Sacramento budgets, and you won that court case, or the press did. But let's talk about what's happening today. Recently, you had an audit measure before the Assembly, and that died.
Well, see, my theory is this. Last year, we opened up the books. Right? We had to go to court. State Assembly spent $200,000 of taxpayer money to keep secrets. That was ridiculous. So now that we've won that case, the books are open, now let's count the money. We are facing horrendous budgetary situations, so it's incumbent upon us more than ever to be more transparent with our own house. And we operate, frankly, with $146 million with no accountability. As a slush
for staff?
The total Assembly budget's $146 million. We're required under our own rules to do an annual performance audit. We refuse to do our own performance audit. So I said very simply, let's bring the controller in and have him audit the books.
And that was before a committee.
It was before the Rules Committee, which interestingly enough is the one that writes the rules. So in their own rules, they say we're supposed to do a performance audit, so they're breaking their own rules.
So can you bring an action against the Assembly?
We can use the court of public opinion to certainly put pressure on the folks who voted against bringing an audit.
But what about the court of law? I mean, if the rules say, I mean, is it a rule or is it a law?
It's a rule. So under Assembly rules that are adopted by the Assembly, we're supposed to do a performance audit. We refuse to do it.
You also are looking to protect individuals who are known as whistleblowers. We know in the private sector there will be whistleblowers. In the defense industry we've seen many whistleblowers.
And in all government agencies. The governor's office, the controller's office, every government agency has whistleblower protection except the state legislature.
So you've actually proposed that there be a new law, California Legislative Whistleblower Protection Act, that would allow whistleblowers to blow whistles and not be at risk of retaliation.
Again, if we're serious about finding waste, fraud, and corruption, there needs to be an independent system to bring that forward.
So what happened?
Well, interestingly enough, in January, the bill passed. The first committee, the policy committee, the judiciary committee, and then they killed it in the appropriations committee. Just yesterday, the judiciary, which had unanimously passed the first bill on bipartisan lines, ended up killing the second bill.
Why is this happening?
Well, frankly, I think it's because leadership doesn't want the scrutiny. They don't want the books open. They want to operate under the old ways. And frankly, when all of these good government reforms were put out there, we exempted ourselves in a lot of self-serving ways.
But could it be, I'm just going to say it directly, could it be that the leadership is targeting you because you're making all the noise and as a result?
I don't think so, because there were 3 good government reform bills all killed yesterday. One to keep bills in print 3 days before they're voted on, another one to post budgets online. They're typically killing anything that I think it's tone deaf to what the general public is asking us to do. They want us to be more transparent. And think about it. The cuts to education are terrible. The cuts to health and social services are terrible. We need to be more transparent, not less.
But how do we make sure that transparency doesn't turn into henpecking and just having people file request after request after request?
Different issues. Every organization should be audited. Every organization should be transparent. We celebrate when the controller goes into Bell and Montebello. We should practice what we preach.
Okay, his name is Anthony Portantino. He's a member of the California State Assembly, making noise as usual. My name is Brad Pomerance. I want to thank you so much for joining us on Time Warner Cable's Local Edition. We're going to send you back to HLN.